so is not so little when it measures God. This is actually one of the poems that's in the book I Am that was put to music by Kip Taylor. I appreciate Kip for doing that. Recently my granddaughter told me she liked the titles of all of my books except for I Am. And I told her it was because I Am needs a little explanation. If you remember, in the Old Testament, the Lord appeared to Moses in a burning bush. And in that encounter, Moses told the Lord he didn't even know his name, and the Lord told him, "Tell them, I Am sent you." And in the New Testament, Jesus picks up that same theme and identifies himself as the God of the Old Testament with various I Am statements. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the bread of life. I am the living water. I am the good shepherd. I am the door to the sheepfold. In John 8:58, Jesus declares his eternal existence with the words, before Abraham was, I am. And there are a number of I Am statements in the Gospel of John that do not easily, or at least have not been, translated into our English New Testaments. One of them is when the disciples were in the storm, in the middle of the night in the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus comes to them walking on the water. The disciples are terrified. And Jesus says to them, don't be afraid. I am. Another is when he was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane. And the soldiers from the chief priests come to arrest him and say, we're hunting for Jesus of Nazareth. And he says, I am. And they fall flat on their backs. The poem that's written on that is entitled, Whom Do You Seek? And it reads like this. He had gone to the garden with his chosen few, when out of the darkness emerged torches and shouts. Soldiers from the high priest, Judas leading the crew, a burgeoning army of evil circling about. Wavering flames made threatening shadows of the trees. Burning pitch and fear wafted on the breeze. Then firmly Jesus demanded, Whom do you seek? Stunned by divine presence, they were stopped in their tracks. Though in his teaching he had often seemed meek, when he spoke again they fell flat on their backs, mustering their quivering gumption and answering, The one we're after is Jesus the Nazarene. I am, he replied, as from the burning bush. Seize him, someone cried, and so began the turmoil. Peter flailed with his sword in response to the ambush, but he found his efforts suddenly foiled. Jesus commanded, Put that sword in its sheath. Shall I not complete the destiny of my grief? It's my desire that in this book you will encounter Jesus, the great I Am of Old and New Testaments, and that your life will be transformed in his eternal reality and deity.